hundreds of thousands, millions goes down the drain. But I had a colleague. Nigeria is one of the countries that farms cocoa in a very, very high content. And I had a colleague there who farmed. Of course, he didn't farm. Of course, we engaging in the value chain of agriculture. He went and purchased a good quantity of this. Took it off from farmers to export it to one of these Asian countries, and it took, for several reasons, delay from here and there. It took about 3 months before they got their product out of the country, and by then the product is already destroyed. I mean, a whole container of this product thrown away. So with this kind of policy now, with this kind of agreement within the African setting, it seems we are going to be enjoying a better atmosphere. Well, maybe during the panel discussion, we'll be able to understand the strength and the limitation as it were. But then, to form the panelists for this section, I have a Nigerian-based CEO of Over a Cup of Coffee, the person of Theophilus Tanko Chigudu. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon if I didn't pronounce well. Please kindly welcome him as he have a seat. And also a Nigerian-based founder of African Souvenir Hub, the person of Miss Sarah Idris Madaki. And let's appreciate her. Also, a Somalian, DG Somaliland Diasporal Office, Sahad Mohammed Abdi Gado. Let's appreciate him. And the CEO, Starlight Homes in Nigeria, the person of Adam Okwe Chidoze. Let me use it. All right, so, and my humble self will be the moderator for this session. Please appreciate me. All right, so we have 30 minutes to spend on this section, and I'd like us to be as direct as possible. We might put our speaker in off if we are not speaking at the moment, so the other noise, of course, doesn't distract. But I so much look forward to this section because it talks business, and I love money big time. I love to say it everywhere. I love money, and of course, not just ordinary business now, business, within the African settings, whereby you can now, transport, export, and change our values. I mean, let me say exchange our values from services. That's what it takes to give us a very, very, yes, thank you, a very, very robust economy, just as it has been said earlier. But then, before we go into the discussion, now we've talked about the definition from what's the countries involved have said, and so many of the explanations. But in your own personal opinion now, from your point of view as a business owner or a government official who is definitely looking for the interest of the persons in his or her own country, I would like you to talk about what you think or what you see after to be. So I'm saying that what is after to you now? Okay, yes, I already did the introduction earlier. So, but then if you would like to tell us about yourself, I'm sorry about that. Maybe we'd like to hear in a short while about it. Just tell us what you do and immediately tell us what after is about. Thank you, sir.
My name is Chigudu Tanko Theophilus. I'm a Nigerian from the Federal Capital Territory. The CEO of Over a Cup of Coffee. Over a Cup of Coffee is a youth-based organization that focuses majorly on entrepreneurship, leadership, education, and aspires to groom young leaders and young entrepreneurs. It started as a forum of young people of about 10, and the idea behind it is not just business, but to groom people. Like the previous session, someone talked about grooming future leaders, joining politics and what have you. But then we know that one of the major constraints of young Africans in business and in politics is finance, how to access funds. And then we also lack the basic knowledge. So we desire to serve as a medium where young Africans are trained in Abuja. We started in Abuja, and then we've been able to branch into some parts of Niger State, Nasarawa, and it was established in 2018. And then we organized annual summits and seminars where young entrepreneurs, young leaders are trained. We also interface between the government of FCT and the citizens. So basically, it's entrepreneurship-based leadership and other related matters.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
In the same vein, let's just talk now about after now being someone who is into all this entrepreneurship empowerment related activities and also bridging the gap between the people and the government rather. What do you think after his, or what can you say after his?
Okay, when it's the idea for after was first introduced, we welcomed it with warm embrace, because we saw a step taken by African countries to create a platform whereby we have a single economy where sharing of ideas is promoted for young Africans, not just leaders. But then at some point we felt and we hope that this development wouldn't just end on paper. You know, there are so many policies in Africa. We've had AU in operation from OAU to AU, and then we keep changing nomenclature, and then to cycle this thing amongst our leaders. Now, when it was introduced, people embraced it. But the major challenge has been the fact that in Africa we have, like where I come from, Nigeria, we have lots of policies, lots of programs, youth empowerment, women empowerment, and economic programs that start and end on paper. Now you're left to wonder why these things never see the light of day. But then with after, we hope that that for the fact that it is aimed at creating a single economy, bridging the gap between different countries, where we can in order to promote the economy of Africa. So we sincerely, our belief is that after we not just inculcate and incorporate others, and then to focus basically on the youths that are here and then all over Africa. It's an avenue for us to not just have a single economy, but we share ideas, export our ideas, skilled and unskilled level will be promoted around Africa. And then we hope that the policy will not end on paper. Yeah.
That's even very, very essential, and thanks for hammering on that particular point, that the policy doesn't just end on paper, but it eventually becomes what the people said it is. Now, over to you, sir, the DG Somaliland, the diaspora. Kindly please tell us what your office does, and of course, what after is to you.
So, hello again, everyone. Good morning. It's really given me a great pleasure to be here. And first of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this great event. And also, I would like to thank the Rwanda government, which has given us the platform and show us that Africa is a continent where all the people and the youth especially are needed each other. I really am thankful for Rwanda. I will encourage the entrepreneurships and youth activists from Africa, mainly from Nigeria, who are traveling within a kilometers to attend this conference. With this challenging time of COVID-19 pandemic, I'm a director of Somaliland Diaspora Office, which is a governmental organization, mainly focused about connecting and cooperating our diaspora community. Somaliland, estimately we have over 1 million people scattered around the world. So mostly they are in Europe, America, Africa, and North America. So our office is trying to bring back our Somalilanders from abroad to invest their countries. So the main activity that we do is mobilizing and networking our diaspora. And really, we have different activities. And now we succeed to bring back many diaspora investors to Somaliland. So that's generally what our office is doing. If I come our discussion for today, first of all, I think it's good to deeply understand the meaning of this word. So African Continental Free Trade Area is one of greatest steps that African countries are reached. So historically, there was an agenda which says we want to unite all the Africa continent in one place. And we can do that. That's what the Americans, they do. They call their countries United States of America. So instead of that, we can create United States of Africa. So, and this will be the largest trade bloc in the world in terms of countries who will be participating. So currently, all the 55 states of Africa, except Eritrea, are signed the agreement. So the agreement will make Africa to be very close to each other. So this city, this beautiful city, Kigali, in 2018, the historical declaration was held in Kigali. And all the African countries, they agree to sign the agreement of African Free Trade Area, which is focusing to be implemented in this year, 2021. As my friend mentioned, when we arrived in Kigali, no one was charging fee on fees on arrival. So that means this agreement now is functioning. So I think the next question is maybe we will focus about the challenges and how the youth can be. So for me, this is a great opportunity, and I hope that one day Africa will be united economically, politically, and socially.
All right, thank you, Sahad Mohammed, for that. It's an opportunity for Africans to be united, and of course, very, very essential. We've seen it work in America with the combination of all the efforts come together, and of course, the greatness that we see. So we're looking forward to it working in Africa. All right, so you now, Sarah Idris, as a business owner now, to you, please kindly tell us what your business, what your organization does. Then to you, tell us what's after it.
Okay. Good afternoon, my fellow delegates. Good afternoon, my ladies.
Yes, thank you.
I want to appreciate the organizers of this event for the wonderful privilege given to me. So I founded this online shop called African Souvenir Hub. It's an online platform for all African vendors that produce everything that has to do with made in African products and anything that has to do with touching African product, regardless of their location, be it even if you're in Canada or in Kenya or Uganda. So it's just a platform for them, because I've traveled to almost all the states in Nigeria, and I saw so many youth doing so many creative things, but they don't really have the platform. They don't have the resources. So the idea is like something like AliExpress and Amazon, where those young entrepreneurs, when they produce those products, they can upload on our website so that at least they can sell all over the world. So the idea is like taking Africa to the entire world, because they are doing so many amazing things but nobody knows about them. You know, they don't really have that platform. Some of them don't even have that technological capacity. So that's just the idea of African Souvenir Hub.
Okay, now, all right, that's a very brilliant and innovative one. But then now to you, what is after this free trade area? How do you see it in respect to your own business?
I think with respect of the African continental trade free, because the aim of it is to create a single market for goods and services, for the movement of goods and services between all African countries. So I think since if African Souvenir Hub, if so many African products are online on our website, and with if there's like a borderless, if we have a free borderless country between all African countries, it would be easier for us to move, for them to move all their goods and services.
Yes. All right, thank you. And of course, I'll be speaking with the CEO of Starlight Homes. Now, please kindly tell us what your organization does, and after that, tell us how you feel after it's relevant to your own business.
Good day, Africans.
Good day.
I am ESV Ima Adumekwe from Nigeria, and I'm the CEO of Starlight Home. Well, I would like to explain what ESV means. ESV means in Nigeria, Estate Surveyor and Valuer. I'm a registered estate surveyor and valuer. See, Starlight Homes is an estate firm. We are into valuations of real estate, planning of estates, construction of estates. We consult for public offices and private sectors, individuals. Personally, I'm a consultant to my state, Capital Territory, or a Capital Territory, OCDA. So what we do virtually is real estate business. So we make sure that there are no building collapse, that all professionals are on site during construction, and the management is in order at the end of the day.
Wow, that's a very great one, and that's very good because we know what real estate is in Nigeria. So, but then, in respect to this conversation now, in your industry, or let me say in your field, how relevant do you think AFTA is?
Well, AFTA is a great opportunity for all African, because I believe with such opportunities, many Africans can migrate. Many Africans can invest in other African countries. Like Nigerians, we are travelers, we travel a lot. We can now invest in other countries. And also give other countries opportunities to come into Nigeria and invest. Nigeria has the opportunity, it has the platform, but most of the time, the restrictions, which I see AFTA is trying to bridge, will help a lot of development in real estate sector.
Wow, thank you so much. And now I'll be moving on, and I'll be asking Sahad Mohammed after this question, because you are, like what you said, you are actually into liaising with relevant citizens of Somaliland from other parts of the world, and of course encouraging them to come back and invest in Somaliland. And I'm so sure if all those over 1 million people you're talking about decide to come back to invest, Somaliland might not be able to contain all the benefits of the investment, or can they? I think not really. I don't know, maybe you have to tell. So now I'd like to say, what idea would you want to give to youths? Or what idea do you think youths can use to benefit from this, in respect to the fact that you are now advocating and inviting other people who have left the country to come in and invest? And now, after your business has been set up, you can transport all of these things, goods and services, to other countries. So what ideas would you want to give to people of your country, and of course, other African youths, on how they can harness the benefits of AFTA?
Thank you for your question. Before I answer that question, I wanted to tell you something. We have our colleagues from Somaliland and also from Somalia. As a Somali people, we believe that the Somalis are more clever with the business and entrepreneurship. Anywhere they go, for example, in East Africa, they dominate all the market. because somehow they are so clever to do all the things. And I hope this agreement, when reached, many Somalis will come to the West Africa, and that then you will know how the Somalis are so clever with the entrepreneurship and the business ideas. That's the one I will shoot for that. When I come to your question, the diasporas are considered, because you know the Africa is divided in 5 regions: the West, the North, the South, the Central, and the South. But now the diaspora is considered as the 6th region of Africa. That's what the African Union structures are planning. That means even the African Union give a platform with the diasporas. In Africa, we are very huge diaspora communities, and they contribute economically to the continent. For example, in Somaliland, annually it is estimated $1 billion is sent in by remittance. Generally in Somalia, $2 billion is sent in remittance annually. That's doubled and tripled the money that these donors are giving to the Somalis and other communities. And generally, all the Africa countries, the same thing like that, even Nigeria. I know that the Nigerians have diaspora commission, and many Nigerians in the abroad, they contribute economically to the country. So when I come to the point of this agreement and how the diaspora community can contribute economically to the country, I see it's a very good opportunity to all Africans. And I know the young Africans, they have open-minded, and they have ideas, and they have established and really a business idea which can be implemented in all the African countries, because already we are in the same scenario, we are in the same situation. So the youths, I think they need to get a platform, and this will be our first platform, because we are the future. We are the future of Africa now, and also the future. So there's a different, for example, I can mention the established opportunities, the network and digital, because our first generation and third generation, at the second generation, they don't know more about the digital world. But as a young, now we are more familiar with the digital. So that's why the startup from Nigeria can contribute all the material in all the continent because of the digital. But our grandfathers and our fathers, they don't have more focus. So I think that can be an opportunity which this agreement can provide with African youth generally.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, and that's very clear. And I'm so sure that's inspiring. I'll come to you, Madam Sarah Idris Madaki, and as a founder of the African Souvenir Hub. Now, you know, of course, having a body which caters for a lot of people requires strong source of ideas to maintain, because several people will definitely come up with different challenges that you will need to apply some creativity to handle and help. But then, with this after, what ideas do you think you use now in order to harness the benefits? In order to harness the benefits. In order to harness the benefits of after. In order to harness the benefits of after, what ideas will you want to give to youth in Africa, and most especially the ones using the platform, on how they can plug into these agreements?
The only idea I'll give to whatever you're doing as a youth, you have to put excellence into whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And you have to be unique. Anything you're producing, you have to stand out. Because for any business to thrive, it has to be unique. It has that touch of excellence has to be there for people to actually, because it's going outside the world. It's going that platform is internationally. So whatever product you're going to produce, it has to meet the international standard. Like people putting their stuffs on AliExpress, on Amazon, nobody will go and buy something that is inferior. Because let's say I buy something on AliExpress today, and it's of inferior quality. Tomorrow I will not go back to that particular vendor on that platform because of the quality of the product is given to the world is not of good quality. So I always only tell youth that entrepreneurs, whatever they are doing, they should put a little bit touch of excellence and uniqueness in whatever they are doing.
Wow, that's very profound. Yeah, that's very profound. In fact, I was going to talk about the export standard, the standard organization of Nigeria for example. I remember there was a training sometimes they did in Southwest. I think they did in northern section of it too, and it was basically emphasizing on the quality of agri-produce that can be exported from Nigeria. So it makes me say, even though AFTA is in place, each country still has a standard which they have set for the product that comes out of their country, because every of those products is meant to be made in Somaliland, made in Kenya, made in this and that, and you wouldn't want to use the product to spoil, the face of the brand of the country. So it makes me say excellence is very, very key.
Sorry, I also say as well, honesty and integrity is key for every business to thrive. Because I remember there was one time I bought some things on AliExpress for over a year now. I've not gotten the products. So if I go back on that particular platform, I would never buy from that particular vendor, because in e-commerce platform, you definitely experience vendors that are scammers. They are just there just to display their product, but they are scammers. But once our e-commerce is up, we have all those things in check.
I was even going to ask that you have any check.
Yes.
Because now, trading online could be one of the worst way of losing all your money. I never said that. I was trying to explain. All right, so let's move on. I'm going to be coming to you, sir. Styler Homes, that is the star. And now, in respect to this idea, because now I'm thinking real estate, you are into service, right? So we've seen mobile houses now. We see people now buying houses. You don't need to build any longer. Yeah. But then, how do you see this policy favoring you as a real estate person?
Well, if what is in the paper, if what we just heard today is implemented, I believe Africa at large will be developed, because the first point of life is shelter. Yeah. Once you are living, you talk about shelter, and everyone wants to have shelter. So if you have access to fund, and there is another issue, we are youths and we are unique. We are so unique that we have different ideas that we can project. But that challenge of finance, most of the time, the idea is being stolen. So as long as they are being sincere, that you can present your idea and also be part of it, I believe Africa is the next place to visit in 5 years.
Yeah, wow. That's a very good one. And of course, now to you, sir, Mr. Theophilus Tanko Chigudu, CEO over A Cup of Coffee. Now, as an empowerment body, now I can see that I think this talks to you in a different way, because it reaches across several other entrepreneurs who you're trying to also help and build their capacity. So in your own view, what ideas will you encourage youths to put up in order to harness this?
Okay, thank you very much. While Sarah was making her ideas known to us, I quickly remembered what someone said. Small businesses drives the economy.
Yes.
Now, the first idea that I would like to promote in NAFTA is advocating for small businesses.
Wow. Yes.
Now, the problem with most Africans, and sorry to say, some of our Nigerian youths, is the fact that most of us want to start big. negating the fact that for you to grow one step at a time. Now, there are lots of businesses that you can start, but then the problem we suffer most is finances. Like I said earlier, the idea behind AFTA is promoting skilled and unskilled labor, exporting our education, sharing ideas, ICT, and agriculture that seems to be the new oil in Nigeria and Africa,
Yes.
and of course real estate. But then you need some finances to start even small. Now, some motivators, like we see them on social media, will come up and tell you that I started my businesses with 1,000 naira. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for years, and I'm sure even Saad here from Somaliland will tell you that 1,000 naira, I don't know, sorry, I have no idea. You see, you can't, what business do you want to start? I and a few of our colleagues here from Imo State, we went around Kigali 2 days ago, and then what we saw is the fact that you cannot use a dollar and buy anything. And then someone will come up and say, okay, you can start small with 1,000 naira, with
One feather of chicken.
1,000
One stick of matches.
Rwanda francs. But it's not possible. We changed our currencies, we could buy only little things, you get. And then, for instance, back home, a lot of people are actually expecting, okay, Theophilus and few Nigerians travel to Rwanda, they should come back, their entrepreneurs come back with one idea. Well, the idea of succeeded in learning is the fact that you have to be consistent. We've learned that here. You have to involve yourself in community development before you accelerate, or politically now, for those that are into politics. Because politics in Nigeria and Africa, the world over, is business.
Yes.
So you need finances to start little. You need finances even in politics.
Yes.
But of course, like Eric said, that he's an experienced politician. You start little and then you get there. So I think I would suggest that every young African, every young entrepreneur aspire to grow, not neglecting the fact that one step at a time matters. Now, in Africa, the whole idea having a single economy isn't possible without employing the services of the youth.
Yes.
The role of the youth in after implementing its policies and what have you cannot be possible without the youth.
Yes.
So the role of youth in implementing and actualizing this African dream is nearly, as a matter of fact, we cannot do without the youth. So that for us to now network with my brother from Somali, start with sharing ideas.
Yes.
We must be open to learning. We must be open to accepting the fact that he's from Somali makes him first an African.
Yes.
So for the policies not to end on paper, I think all hands must be on deck to see that this thing works. And then we must fight against this idea of all Africans are backward, Africans are not ready to take over the world, Africans are copying, because before the EU, there was Africa. Because I read somewhere where they said AFTA is copying from the EU and what have you, but they forget that 90% of all they have is from Africa. Ima said in the next 5 years, Africa is the next destination, but I dare say now Africa is the the newest destination in the world. Just like everybody in the world and Africa wants to visit some Kigali.
Yes.
And though we also believe that in few months' time, Nigeria is the new hub of entrepreneurs. Now, we are sorry, I'm trying to hit up, and we're everywhere, but then Nigeria is open.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing Saad, Abdi, and so many of you visit us in Nigeria, buying homes in Nigeria.
Yes.
Starting small with Ima, tell him, okay, how much would I send to Nigeria to start up a business?
Yes.
Now, I'll end this with a question. Is it possible for me to leave from Nigeria and then send in funds to invest in agriculture in Kigali or in Somalia?
Okay. That's a very, very brilliant question. I am not in 100% in the position to answer that question.
So maybe our Somalian will
Okay,
answer
maybe,
that.
Somalian, maybe will you want to answer that question?
Why I asked that of agriculture is any oil in Africa. There are countries that have no oil. There are European when it comes to agriculture. So why don't we tap into that? Why don't after focus on agriculture?
When we say poverty,
You get so.
Mind is everything.
So now the young farmers in my village, where I come from, a village in Nigeria, where it's visited in Nigeria,
Right.
and I have a farm, of course I have people that do that. Now these local farmers, every day they are sending their produce, their crops outside, and they are making more money. There are people that go down the village to access.
If I make us talk about agriculture now, we will go into something very deep.
Okay.
I think you want to start that.
So thank you for that information and how you share with us. I wanted to mention one is, as an Africans, we are a victim of what the colonizers was doing to us. Still, we are a victim of that. So, the European unions, if you go in Europe, there is no restrictions. Even sometimes you don't know if you are in Belgium or if you are in Netherlands or if you are ill. Yeah, it's no restrictions, no movement. But come Africa, if you want to go to Ghana, which is very next to Nigeria, you are a visa. Ghana. If you are in Nigeria and you want to go to Cameroon, you are the visa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Includes Africa, Benin Republic.
Even East Africa, same that. If I want to go to Europe, I want to apply a visa. If I want to come to Gali, fortunately now, with the agreement of this.
There is a clarification. The clarification needs to be made on that. The government of Rwanda took up a great innovation in having the COVID-19 case. So instead of you having to pay for your COVID-19 test and also pay for the right, scrap payment and replace it with COVID-19. Once COVID-19 is over, maybe you might have to pay for your visa.
So absolutely.
But the fee is low.
Yeah.
Like I said, the fee is low.
So that's a challenge because the colonizers, they divide us, they made the borders. So it's still, I read a report which says 80% of conflict in the African countries, there's a border issue between Burundi and Rwanda. There is a border issue between Kenya and Uganda. There is a border issue between Kenya and Tanzania. There is a border issue between Nigeria and Cameroon. You see, this is not our problem. This is what the colonizers are doing. And still, they want to be like that way. You see, we have a resource and raw material. They want to take our raw material, manufacturing with a very low price, but when they bring back with a high price. For example, in West Africa, you are very rich in chocolate.
Yes.
I read in a book which is entitled The Chocolate Nations. For example, in Ghana, the Westerns, they take the chocolate, they manufacture, they bring back, maybe you buy $1 per kilo, they bring back $100 per kilo. So that's one problem, the borders and the movement. The other thing is, as my brother is telling me, is the currency. As an Africans, we believe that the dollar is an international currency. If you have a dollar, you cannot worry that you can buy anything in Kigali. But if you have a naira and you are in Kigali,
You have to convert your
yeah, you cannot buy anything with your
You can use dollars here, but not naira.
That's another problem. So that's the problem underground. So as a youth and Africans, we need to change these things. And this is why I say this agreement is our future.
Yes.
Just we want to cooperate each other and be near to us. I know we are far away. I'm not 100% sure that you can come to Somaliland or Somalia to have your investment. I cannot guarantee you that because already that's the restrictions. But I have a vision maybe after 20 years that can be possible.
Okay.
Only if this policy implement in the place, not will be in the papers. It's not make anything if it is in the paper, but we want to implement.
You know, Sahad, you said something now that maybe in the next 20 years, but I'd like you to know that's one of the reasons why you're in that office. so you can actually influence
Okay.
policy and all. You know, I was going to say that one of the things we need to do from now, since we all concluded that this agreement is the future of Africa, then we put up the hashtag After Must Work campaign. After must work. Every entrepreneur put it as part of what you say. After must work, and let's begin to sensitize and teach people. I think the awareness is still low. People need to know more about some of the things that they can place a demand that, okay, if you're working together to make this available for us, then let's make it work. And also, let's learn more about that. I think I'm going to be taking the last round of comments from us now, because I know, of course, any section that has to do with business, trade, always generate a lot of response. I can't rule that out, but I don't want us to eat into our lunch time. You know, lunch is very essential. So I don't want us to eat into the time. And of course, other speakers are also waiting. And we will definitely continue this conversation when the conference timing is over in our hotel room. I'm so sure is permitted. Our hosts, we can continue the conversation in our hotels. And all right, so I'd like to take the last round of comment from everyone in respect. Just feel free to share whatsoever other thing that is on your mind, but let's ensure that it's inspiring enough and workable in a few minutes.
All right, Theophilus is the name once again. To contribute to add to what Saad said about colonialists having dominated Africa and they rewrote the African history. My question is there any colonial master or any Westerner, a president in Africa? Do we have an American as a president in Africa, or a Britain as a president in Africa? Yes, Africa history was distorted. Yes, we were colonized. Yes, I cannot use the Naira in Kigali or in Ghana, but I can use the dollar here. Now, it's our mindset that we have 55 countries in Africa headed or governed by Africans, means that we can tell our stories ourselves, means that we can develop ourselves business-wise, politically, and what have you. But the question of leadership comes to mind. And until we realize that the problems in Somalia, in Nigeria, in South Africa, Kigali, are same problems or similar problems faced by Nigerians and other Africans, we wouldn't move an inch. So when it comes to business, we will only grow if our borders are accessible. If I can use, I have my Naira here, but I couldn't use it. As a matter of fact, I'm meant to transfer my Naira to a friend here in Kigali so that he will withdraw or change to Kigali Rwandan currency for me to use. And this shouldn't be. We're looking forward to an African where I would freely travel to Kigali, freely travel to Ghana as a neighboring country to share ideas, to do businesses and come back. We hope that the policies also involves checking our customs at our airports. I mean, the restrictions are just too much. And then the aspect of accessing finance funds for businesses should be checked. Most enterprising Africans, most to start up businesses. A guy invented or designed a car, Rolls-Royce in the Plateau. But nothing has been heard of this guy to date. So we're hoping that with this thing, you identify talents and pick them up. He mustn't be from Somalia. If you see somebody that can contribute to the development of your country, business-wise, leadership-wise, bring this person to learn from. You have, just like we're here, I'm from Nigeria, some of us are from different African countries. We're here to share ideas that are not just beneficial, will not only be beneficial to Nigeria, but other African countries. So it means that I am now open for invitation to other African countries. I should be able to freely invite you to Nigeria. You get, for instance, a resource person who was supposed to come all the way from USA, but because of some visa, whatever, and all that. So imagine someone from Nigeria couldn't come to this place. There are lots of youths that would have attended this program, but because of these visa problems, one policy or the other. So it's an appeal now to after leaders to also involve youths
Yes.
in the organization.
I believe, like I said, for youth to be involved, then youth, let's get engaged. Let's
So
start retweeting.
lastly,
Let's start generating.
let us think
actions.
Africa. Let's think Africa
Thank
before
you,
anything else.
Sir. Continue in the hotel. All right, please let's make it
Bukwem.
short. Hey.
Greatest Africans.
Great. So let's please let's make it as brief as possible.
So I think we have a few minutes and the lunch is waiting. Just I wanted to tell you that as we discuss now, the Africa Free Trade Area is an opportunity for us. It will be a GDP of $3.5 trillion, and it will be a single market of 1.5 million people. So that we can see how it is essential and important to be part of the agreement. But that not means there is no challenge. Just I wanted to mention 2 or 3 challenges which is need to be solved. For example, in African countries, we had a very poor infrastructure in terms of roads and railways. That means the goods and the other communities transfer from one country to another country may take some time because of the poor infrastructure. So in African countries, an Africa continent, we must to develop our infrastructure in order to make very easy with the access of and also we have political unrest in many African countries. There is a conflict, there is a human trafficking and all the problems. And now, I think before 1 hour, the Chad president is shot with in the border area. He was in power for the last 30 years and re-elected again to be in power for another 6 years. So African leaders still, they want to stay the church. And many African leaders, they believe that there is no life after the president. So even that's another assignment which is say, as an African people and an African government, we must need to make a political stable in order to reach and implement this agreement. And the other challenge may be this agreement can cause this urbanization. You know, the urban area is a place where all the service and the goods are available in many African countries. And I'm sure Lagos and Abuja are not same with other cities in Nigeria. All the services are in that cities. So this is encourage many people to come to the urban area. So that will cause another problem with many African countries. And finally, what I wanted to mention is, this agreement is a very good as an African continent, but it needs commitment and cooperation and to work together. Not the current president, but as a youth, because we will be the leaders for tomorrow. And this is why this conference was organized. Maybe one of you from Nigeria may be the next president of Nigeria. Maybe I will be the next president of Somaliland. Maybe someone will be the next president of Rwanda. So we can create a network which is, we want to change our continent. So once again, I want to say together we can. So you can say that.
Together we can. I'm so sorry I got
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, Sarah, let's have your last take.
Okay. What I want to say is that all these things we've discussed, I just felt we have to address it from the root, which is our educational system. If we look at our educational system, we don't have, right from primary school, we were not taught about entrepreneurship, skills acquisition, something that all we know is that they will tell us, finish school, is either you find out, if you see a child now, you ask him, what do you want to be in the future? They will only tell you, I want to be a politician, or I want to be a doctor. Nobody will tell you, I want to be an entrepreneur, because they felt like for you to be an entrepreneur, like in Nigeria, most of them, if you meet an average Nigerian, if you ask him why he's doing what he's doing as an entrepreneur, he will tell you because he has not gotten a job, a federal government job. Because right from when we were young, we were not trained how to be an entrepreneur. Because an entrepreneurship has to do with creativity and innovation, but we are not taught. So I don't know how in Africa, in our educational system, we can inculcate that as a course in our curriculum, leadership, entrepreneurship. I think that will go a long while.
Well, thank you. All right, so let's have you, sir, Mr. Adumekwe Chidoze.
Thank you, my moderator. Well, I would say we have a lot of challenges when it comes to real estate. After need to know that in real estate sector, they need time, because you need time to break even in real estate sector. The money is a lot of money. It needs a lot of money, yes, but you need time for break even.
That's you talking to entrepreneurs in real
Yes,
estate now.
entrepreneurs in real estate need that time
To be able
to
to-
break even,
Okay.
because they will be looking at their interest. They should consider the interest rate and also the timing for break even. The next thing is our government policies. Some of us who are youth, who are professionals, before you be engaged, they will tell you you need 40 years experience, 10 years experience, 10 years tax clearance, 5 years tax clearance, a lot of policies that will make you not to be interested in applying. So they should look at that, please. So this is the message I'm giving to the AFTA and all African leaders, mostly for the youths.
Yes.
They should look at areas, because we've passed through the process. Maybe we may not have the finance, but we have the knowledge, but we are not given that opportunity. So the next one is the benefits of this AFTA
Agreement.
program is that mostly in real estate, there is a lot of value chain. If such policy is being implemented, I believe it will create a lot of jobs. When we talk about youth unemployment, it will eliminate it to a greater length. So I believe African leaders are listening to us. They're hearing us. They should do more. I want to thank them for the one they've done already. They should do more.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone on this panel, and I'd like to say this as a parting word to every young person, every entrepreneur in this place, and of course listening via the internet and in Africa, that this policy was created not for the government but for the people. But then, so if the people will not come up and begin to display the required capacity to make use of this, then it might be like one of those ones that have come and has not been effective. So what do we have to do? Let's learn more about this agreement. Let's learn more about how to key into it. And of course, let's become advocates of the implementation. Let someone that next to you know about it. Let's generate conversations around it, even in our day-to-day activities and business. And of course, we'll be looking forward to getting the best result that we desire. I wish everybody a successful business practice. Once again, thank you, every single person on this panel.